Hello to all traders, and once again welcome to another video, and this has been brought to you by Orbex. So we're looking at the US indices today because they've taken a bit of a downturn in the last 24 hours. The Dow still looks to be in a slight bear market as we see another drop of over 500 points actually from the time of the open today. It was actually roughly about 700 points from the total 24 hours. So it depends what news outlet you listen to or what news you're looking at. A lot of people, investors are saying that it's due to the fears of a recession. We've had the consumer index fall to a lower reading than what the Dow thought it was going to be, roughly about 100. It dropped to 98.7. So let's just take a look at the other figures then. So the Dow dropped almost 2% yesterday, as well as the S&P and the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ was down lower at 3%. So quite a dramatic drop. So a few stocks dropping off in the near term at least. And as I said, the Dow is the one we're looking at. It's probably one of the most popular. Only 30 components make it up at the moment, going on to 40 soon. But regardless, smaller than the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500. So a lot more things to get into what we're seeing basically for the direction of the market in the next 24 hours and possibly towards the end of the week. Don't forget, we've got the FOMC next Wednesday. They're just talking in a meeting, not a interest rate hike just yet. That's at the end of July. And also we've got the all important NFP numbers coming out next Friday. Obviously the 4th of July weekend this weekend, so it's going to be delayed a week. But regardless, looking at these US indices though, we are now looking for a slight bounce at a bottom in the near term. But as you can see, moving on to the charts then, we are now seeing another move to the downside. So these recession fears are still lingering because we had this drop yesterday, which is quite significant. I pulled this back to when the last peak was, and I've been tracking recently this kind of like expanding diagonal here, and we can see possibly, if I can just get it tracked on correctly. There we go. I can see that it's this is probably the first leg, second, third. We are now moving up higher for a fourth wave at the moment, but we'll see if this has any cause for concern in the near term, because we had such a vast ascension in the last few trading sessions. And the Dow, if you think about it, when we had this bottom here roughly at the just below the 30,000 mark, we moved up to almost 32,000, so quite a big move in that respect. However, we are taking a little bit of a back seat now as well. If we're looking on divergences on the RSI, you can say that there isn't really much of a clear divergence. As you can see here, these two bottoms that we saw are signifying here and here, so moving kind of in tandem. If we had this a bit higher, we could say that it was a slight bullish divergence, but regardless, we did not get this, and now we're looking at the alternatives and what is in store for the Dow. So if we bring it on the 4-hour chart, we are now looking to see what could be another movement. And more significantly, because we've moved through the Ichimoku cloud, we were supposedly starting to get back on track. But if you look at the choppy nature of the Dow, it has been pretty much up and down for, let's say, for the last couple of months now, as we move into July shortly. So we're going to see the next few trading sessions, what the Dow has in store. We're going to see if we can push up to this fourth wave to get into this diagonal and see if we're going to have these extra moves. As I said, I'll be looking to track if we're going to start going to the upside here, roughly about this zone of 34,000. That's the next target for myself. So we'll see if that comes into fruition as well. On the NASDAQ as well, we are now seeing a possible move like the Dow. So these indices are moving pretty much in tandem. So from the peak that we saw at the end of 2021 until now, there has been quite a significant drop. But as prices were supposedly starting to move higher, as you can see here, we've had this 3% drop in yesterday's trading. So today's trading, as you can see, hasn't really opened too well. We still have a red flag, red candle, but it is a small one, so it's nothing to be too concerned about if you're looking for buy positions. So in the near term, I'll just be looking at any resistance on the lower border of the Ichimoku cloud. And a little bit like the Dow, is this just a worrying sign for a recession fears, or is it just a case of a slight sell-off before we hit another bottom and then start moving higher? We'll have to wait and see. But very interesting times for US indices because it is all go at the moment. you know, we are looking at more things coming out of the market as well. So with the NASDAQ, just to cap everything off here, we are now a little bit like the Dow. We've pushed through the Ichimoku cloud, but the next test now is if we can see some support at that level as well. So if you look on the economic calendar for today as well, we do have a few highlights. We've got Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech. We've also got ECB President's speech as well. We've also got EIA crude oil. This is all coming in the afternoon session. So the market could start moving quite significantly, not only in the American zone, but the Eurozone as well. Keep an eye out for the euro dollar pair, because obviously at the same time these speeches are going on, obviously any questions directed at these people, these big figures in the market, could shake up the markets as well. So just keep that in mind and make sure that you're not missing anything there. So that's all from today's Stock Watch. Please join me again tomorrow for another video where I take you through the hot topics, and we'll speak again then. Sorry, have a good trading day ahead, and bye for now.